90.1 The Voice, Joe Escobar. We got a special guest coming in, represents HBCUs very well. Journalist from Michael, welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Joe, thanks for having me up here at the show. It's a great honor to be here. Came all the way down here from New York, and I'm a student from, graduate from Delaware State University.
Yeah.
But, we beat y'all at homecoming, so what you got to say about that?
Yeah, he's right. He's right. You know, it's a little tension over here. I'm starting to inch my chair away because, you know, me and Mike have a little high school rivalry going on.
Right, we got to take it up to North Jersey.
But yeah, welcome to the show. We really appreciate you coming through to share some of your experiences as far as your journalism career. I mean, so far it's been a very short career with a lot of accomplishments. So far, of course, I mean, you've worked for the AP, the Bergen Record, which I've had the chance to read a lot during high school, and you've been now at the Daily News, at the NY Daily News. How have your experiences been there as far as in just 5 to 6 years coming out of college?
I mean, you talk about experience coming out of college and working at the Associated Press in Baltimore and Detroit, working in New Jersey, my hometown paper at the Bergen Record, and now to work at New York's hometown paper, the New York Daily News, is an amazing experience because it's given me so many opportunities to report on stories about murder stories, about entertainment stories, political stories, just everything. I've got a chance to do everything that a reporter would want to do in his career.
The media capital.
Right, the media capital right there. So to work somewhere like that, to work at the Daily News was just, an amazing accomplishment for me, but I'm still working to get better as a reporter, as a journalist, and that's why I'm here at A&T, is to just encourage people, specifically journalism majors, not to give up, because, times are hard, it's hard to get jobs out of college, but I'm here as an example to show people that you can do it. I went to a HBCU, and, not from the greatest journalism school of all, but, it doesn't matter, because what it's about is your experience and what you can bring to the table.
Yeah, now, of course, I mean, it's a challenging industry altogether, not only for African Americans, but for people in general. I think I remember last year reading a statistic that showed that 70% of senior journalism majors were unemployed right after graduating.
Well, let me say this about that statistic that you talked about. I think that, if a lot of students didn't graduate with jobs, there's probably a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is probably because they didn't do what they were supposed to do in terms of getting internships. That's a challenge I think a lot of people face, is just landing an internship. But once you start to get internships while you're in college, then that's going to help you going on down the road. And some of the challenges that I faced were just a lot of people that try to discourage you. When I started working at my first newspaper, people told me, get out of the business, kid. This thing is, it's dying fast. You don't want to be doing this. But I stood there and I made sure that I didn't give up or listen to those people who told me to get out or that I couldn't do it. Well, one of my first internships was at the Lexington Herald-Leader. It was a daily newspaper in Kentucky. And basically, I got the internship by going to the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, something that I would encourage everyone out there to join the NABJ, their local chapter, if they're not already involved in it. But I got that internship in Lexington, Kentucky, and my first thought was, great, it's in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But my family, they were like, you going all the way to Kentucky? That's crazy. Like, why don't you just work in New York City? It's right here. But I decided that this was the opportunity that was presented to me. So I called up one of my people who worked in Lexington at the time, and I asked him to pick me up from the airport. And he said, what, in the airport? You gotta have your car down here. And I was like, what? I was like, no one told me that I needed a car. So then all of a sudden I had to ask my mom to borrow her car, because my car was a 91 Ford Mustang. It wasn't making it down from New Jersey down to Kentucky. So I was like, let me get my mom's car and drive it down there. And I did, and it was a great experience, a great opportunity. It's something that a lot of people wouldn't do. A lot of people wouldn't take that opportunity. It's in Kentucky. How many people realistically would take a chance and go on an internship way out in Kentucky? I mean, I know a lot of people told me I was crazy for that, but it was worth it. It was worth it, and I think that's something journalists need to think about. If you're serious, you got to be, fearless and take all opportunities as they come. People get in their comfort zone, whether you're a student at North Carolina A&T and you just feel like you're doing well because you're getting good grades in class and you're doing what's required of you by the school, but that's not enough. You got to step outside of that comfort zone and step outside the box and do something that's really going to stand out, because when you graduate college in 4 years, it's going to be competitive and you're going to have to be able to show people that you can do this. So I would encourage everyone out there just to get internships, even if you're a freshman. Even if you can't get an internship, just walk into a place and say, hey, I'm a student, I want to learn. You know, that's what I did. After my first year of college, I quit my job. I was working at Sears. I quit my job and I went to a weekly newspaper in New Jersey. And I said, I just want to write. And they let me do, they said, you got an idea? I said, yeah, I got an idea. Mario, the singer, went to my high school, Feeney. So I was like, oh, I got this story about this kid, Mario. He's a big singer now. Can I do a story on him? And they let me do it. So that was my first action offer.
With writing stories, of course you're working in a big market, a huge market, where it doesn't only limit you to City Hall. I mean, there's a wide variety of things going on. One story that you recently jumped on was the student from Rutgers that actually jumped off of the George Washington Bridge. It was a very unfortunate situation, of course, where his privacy was basically invaded. What is the issue that is really going on with privacy invasion now, and how students are taking care of it or handling it on college campuses?
I mean, I think with that student, talk about Tyler Clementi, he was a student at Rutgers, a freshman who just started school, not even a month, and basically his roommate was videotaping him having a same-sex encounter with another person, and got blasted on the internet. And I think internet bullying is very powerful, whether it be, when you're in college or high school. And I think people should think about, bullying people, especially in terms of like putting videos on the internet, or, I mean, now we talk about Twitter and Facebook and different social networking tools that people can use to just be really mean to people, to be really hurtful. And people need to think about the repercussions of
Another story, Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne getting out of jail. Of course, that fell during the week of midterm elections. What was the big uproar about it?
I mean, when you deal with celebrity stories, they're going to be a big deal. Especially, I mean, for me being a reporter in New York City, it was a big deal because Lil Wayne was locked up in Rikers Island, which is in Queens, New York. So for me, it was a story I had to cover. Elections was going on and so forth, but you have to cover that too, because it's something, one, that everyone was talking about.
How has the foundation of going to an HBCU prepared you, or even helped you a little more as far as your career is concerned now?
I mean, I think what the HBCU experience gave me was like, it's a small, tight-knit community, but it gave me the opportunity, because I went to a small HBCU, it gave me the opportunity to do everything. I had a radio show. I was editor of the school paper. I was a part of SGA. I was president of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated on Dell State's campus. So I know you enjoy hearing that. This man over here, he chose a different choice, but we ain't gonna fault him.
I'm gonna pray for Mike.
We ain't gonna fault him for his mistakes. But no, being at HBCU allowed me to do everything, and allowed me to really take control of my desk point, that students take advantage of resources like the Win Wickham. People should join NABJ, the local chapter, because things like NABJ can help you out so much.
Definitely.
I've been going to the NABJ conferences every year since I was a freshman in college. And that's because of Delaware State University, because they gave me the opportunity to be a part of NABJ. And now just this past summer, they named me NABJ's Emerging Journalist of the Year.
Yes, they did. Big accomplishment.
So that was huge, and as soon as I accepted the award, people were coming after me, trying to give me more jobs and different opportunities, just because. So it was great, but I wouldn't trade my HBCU experience for anything. It was great, homecoming's always off the hook, so it was cool though.
It's a great time.
Yeah, HBCU, I wouldn't have it any other way, so we'll be here forever.
Of course. Well, Mike, I thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll definitely look to hear from you in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna be, make sure I check you out when you big time.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.